coming from my last live stream. Had to stop. Okay, um, let's see if I'm live now. I'll be saying a lot, moaning and groaning. Uh, so we had this very clever, cunning, cruel grandmother, my father's mother, and she knew she used to taunt my mother that I will take your children away from you. And with her eldest son, they used to tell my mother that we will make. Joking that this is their wicked joke, but it came like we would make your my son, yani your husband, and his eldest brothers would say the same thing to my mother, that we would make Babu, your husband, Abdul Hussain, Mahsin Jawad Sajani, get married again to another woman. We will marry her to we will marry him to another woman and all this. And this was a very clever family. Like, for example, saying that, so when they used to say they meant it, that they would take her children away. So later on, what they did was unspeakable. In my childhood, whenever they would come to London, you know how I would feel shy in front of my mother and not want my mother around when they would come. We would go for picnics and all this, and my mother would have some mad bouts, emotional, uh, seeing them maybe triggering that also, and her husband going to the casinos all the time in London, never giving her any time. Um, so, he would, and he's like Kamsa, I think. I found out Hindu. So, like sacrificing his children for his brothers and even his, let's see, oh, his children and yeah, his brothers, sacrificing. My father would sacrifice his children for this one, my mother's side, not that vulgar woman's side, the second wife, second known wife. Actually, he had done nikah with the wife in Karachi. She was wearing gungru when she came out of the house. I found out. So that's another story. So then he married Habiba, and officially, like, I don't know how many mutas he's done and how many times he's married, but the times that I know is this that this other wife of his was very, very vulgar, and people would, you know, because they are actors, they are great actors, and what I saw in my grandmother was that everything was working for her and against my mother and me, and people इतना जुल्म किया कि हम लोगों को like we would feel like criminals and bad people, bad girl, Donald Summers. So today it was really bad. I don't trust anyone. Even Kalki Avatar is trying to console me. So I had a little, thank God, cried and all this, feeling a little better. Otherwise, I'd be abusing here. So I wouldn't be able to talk properly as not even now, but better than before. I think I can speak, but I'm not. I don't trust Kalki Avatar or anyone because in London, when I needed someone, someone came, but they left me. So I don't trust any Hindus or any Muslims, anyone. So my life has been like this. Although my father gets all the women he needs, and then that's how. So I was in such a bad state. But one thing is that I was going to say that there are demons outside and there's no one who cares and all this. But I checked, somehow remembered Bibi Asia's case, and that made me breathe a little and feel a little better instead of eating myself up from inside. That there's no one, no one. And then my head goes OCD. My mind goes like on OCD and all this compulsive thoughts, right? It just goes on and on and on, and I'm just tight and I'm punishing myself from inside also. Uh, so they knew how to put the seed of, someone who knows it from your childhood, how to put the seed of self-destruction in you and become siddhi and aggravated, agitated. No one's there to help, and no one helped my mother. But their lives have gone on, and they're quite good. They even sit together and joke and all this. My father and his family. So Bibi Asia's case, like the Supreme Court, really great about the Supreme Court of Pakistan, right? And then I looked, and here it says that France, Italy had were saying that we will give her, we will take her as our own, you know, national. So that is really good. No Pakistani can we rely on, but the Supreme Court of Pakistan did a great work on Asia Bibi Noreen ji was accused, who was June 2009. I was in Karachi. This was a great shock for me. And then was Italy, Canada, as well as other Western countries worked to help her leave Pakistan. So yes, there are people out there, and they're all from the Western world actually, who would care and reach out and help. So it's not like the whole world is full of demons and no one to help. But take my case as a joke and pretend like they know nothing when they come here. So the Western world will help. So at least one spark came up in me. Uh, God knows who reminded me of. So my father would, like the family there are these visions I'm having, mocking, molester, no, this. So I never cried for myself in my childhood. The thing is, I was like a tough cookie. So it's unspeakable right now. I'll try my best. So, and that's why I don't trust in Pakistani Indian Muslims even, or Indians to help me. What's this? Okay, this I put off. Let me see. So even though this Kalki Avatar and says, I remember this in Dubai. Oh, London. Sorry, not Dubai. I was there and giving me signs, but not really of much help. So where's my channel live stream here? Oh yeah. So I have to share this on Facebook. Excuse me. So just surviving like this, coming on YouTube live streams. Before that, Facebook live stream. This is my survival kit. I have no other outlet now. Uh, so all this is in my mind. And what my father did was when Mr. Gupta from Alban College, he said, come to the Western world. I will give you money. We don't take money and all this help. I was like, no, thank you so much. But so I was talking downstairs with him one day on my mobile. Oh God. And I shared this with I told him what a great man Mr. Gupta was and all this, right? Then came Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi and on the internet. And when he was going to London, so he took Mr. Gupta's number. He said, "I need help from. I need help. I might need help in London. So give me numbers of some people that. I said, "Yeah, sure." And all this, I get naive and all. I forget. I forgive. This is what a palmist told me in Karachi, that you forgive these users, those who use you, and you do rehem on them, and then you they've put you in loss. They harm you. They like you. So what happened is Mr. Gupta's attitude changed. Like he had told me that you can call me anytime himself. Like so, Yusuf Zedi told me to call Mr. Gupta up. Look at the chalaki. I mean, this comes from my father's mother. So I now detect, of course, it's my father, right? And of course, how could Narasimha come in Karachi? Because we were so lachar, rendered, my mother and I, and then my sister and all. I mean, nothing was working in Dubai. Maybe my father got my brothers from indirect ways. And so my one brother who came here a long time ago worked as worked like anything here, but things wouldn't open up for him. Like people can become Emiratis can become very rich by working. So I don't know where he couldn't help us like financially handle the house expenses. Neither my other brother, youngest one, and the youngest one, my father had stopped sending him money in his middle of his education, and he had to go out to find work to pay for his education. And even being an Emirati, like we didn't take help from anyone here, but we did it. They did it on their own. My sister here also, and so my sister and I would not get along. That was also done by my father. I don't know who is helping him, which devil Jadugar is helping him. So I've known his mother, and the chalaki she did was she made this cousin so horrid, a user and sex maniac and all that. So I started to feel bad that I was a bad girl. So I did some Jennifer McLean exercise, little bit I was, but I felt like I was no, I'm bad. But I felt connected with Jennifer McLean. I'm much grateful to Jennifer McLean and Anita Marjani for doing. I had done the exercise they had given us. That any bad thing in your childhood, people who used you, abused you, think of it. But then the grounding and the light, so not to be afraid, fearful, or blame yourself, feeling guilty, shame, any shame or anything. So I don't know the details. I don't remember from her video or Facebook stream that I watched later, or maybe YouTube video. So my father's mother was behind all this feeling. So I don't have words. And then my father took upon himself. I mean, the mother's very clever. So I would stay away from my mother when they would come to London from Dubai. And so Mr. Gupta, an Indian Hindu in London, told me over the phone that he would help me. Oh, those times I had the mobile and I started to do tarif with my father. I mean, so then, okay, completing the Yusuf Zedi thing. You went to London, right? So where did I reach? Yeah. So Yusuf Zed said, uh, call Mr. Gupta. So when I called him, he acted very funny. It was like, this, I'm very busy and all this. Oh my God, like he had asked me, like he was never busy for me. He changed on me. So, my father's been closing all the doors on us. Even my mother's relatives could not come to help. I remember when Gohar, I had asked them, please take care of my mother. When I was going for my studies, higher studies to London, this was the first time, and it would be difficult for my mother. My father would not allow her sister Gohar to stay in the house. They were saying that he made her like a. I was like, did he put Gohar in shit? Because in London I had a dream that she's in shit and she's very worried. Um, um, she, my father would not allow Gohar, late Gohar, to live there in the house, in her sister's house because I was away. छोटी छोटी बात पे पानी, like why does she take the bottles up from the kitchen, like water bottles on, you know, पानी ज़्यादा है, कंजूस इतने हैं, ये सजवान नहीं पता नहीं क्या है. But not only that, but you know, he wouldn't allow, and so that her sis, so that he would get bad things done on my mother after her sister left the house and I wasn't there. So he took the opportunity. Like बरवागिरी से भी बदतर मेरा father है. Right. This time I'm saying that, you know, I've heard Mutahar saying Barwa, this, that, but to his, to, but I never used to. I grew up with these bad words, but I never used to. So I didn't it learn from my grandfather's house, maternal grandfather's house, but I learned from, of course, oh yeah, in my childhood, my dadi would set up, Papa, we call her. Oh, we called her. Now she's dead, thank God. We called our grandmother Papa. So excuse me. So what was I on? Yeah, the bad words. Yeah, her daughter, youngest daughter's friend Nagina and her youngest daughter, they used to say bad words, and the servants she used to send me to used to say bad words and all this. So I learned it from there, and then they would actually set up things in the house. I can't explain this. Terrible. So, sorry about the background. It's all on the loudspeaker. This is too much. So this is noise pollution. Like not only the azan, but they're saying the whole prayers on the loudspeaker from the mosque. They will make mosque and they will openly, these hypocrites. Now I know. So, uh, sorry about this. Just that something just purged me to say this. Otherwise, I would have kept my mouth shut. So for a long time, I kept my mouth shut. I endured there, and even like things they made us. Like even our sons would taunt us in my childhood. I don't know what she used to, and the way she used to look. So my grandmother, when she would come to London from Dubai, there was something really wicked about her way she used to look also. She knew she had set things up against me, and I would feel ashamed and stay away from my mother. So remember that time in my childhood, I told you earlier on in my childhood. This was later in my childhood, but earlier on in my childhood, I remember my grandparents' place. They would come, my grandmother, this grandmother, father's mother, and her eldest son would sometimes be there, and they'd say that no, my grandmother would say that I will take your children away from you, and her eldest son would be there and say, yes, we're going to, like, make Babu get married. again and all this. At her parents' place, my mother's parents' place, they would go on, and there's no one to stop them. You know, my mother's parents were like, guests have come, and they're like, we used to really respect the guests. They used to, and what can they say? They had to keep quiet. These are rich people, and they had their daughter. They're so, it's so cleverly done. All the doors of blessings even shut down, out not only outside but inside me. I felt have been shut down, and I now it's too late. I wouldn't allow anyone to. I can't trust anyone, even Kalki Avatar. If he's one day there's help, another day, but on my there's no help on my health, and the devil keeps going on. Scraping my skin and inside my guts. They've got me inside, right? So if I abuse or anything, please understand that it's not me. I condemn bad words and all that. Ugh. Okay, there's pressure on me again, starting. My head is heavy. Uh, so, uh, anyways, I just a little bit, so so recently that sorry, I know I don't take anyone from out of their duty or anything, but this Kalki Avatar is saying that now I'm too old and too gone case, but not for God, right? For God, the outer appearance, he's saying, no, no, अभी शादी वाली I just want freedom. I don't want खुशी तो हमारे उसमें नहीं लिखी है किस्मत में. So I was just turning the Marcia from Bibi Zainab to Radharani and Vrindavan. It's a Sindhi Marcia actually. No, but it has some. It's like Marcia, and then it has some a story like you just what do you call it? के हाने तू भले वृंदावन असांखे क़बूल न कर हिन करे के असां तुंहिंजे लाइक न रहियासीं Vrindavan. Bibi Zainab, we are told, says that, or Bibi Kulsum says, the other daughter of Fatima and Ali, कि हाने तू असांखे क़बूल भले न कर मदीना हिन करे कि असां तुंहिंजे लाइक न रहियासीं. And then the Marcia starts. The souls type it. राज़ी थी रब जे रज़ा ते सर ॾिनो ॾिनी सरवरन. Like that, right? So part of it is in speech, like without this thing, a way of, I can't express myself. No, no, are you kidding me? I'm not, I just want freedom. So yesterday I saw Paramahamsa Vishwananda, really happy and all this. So I was remembering Devdas movie song. So now I think Yazid did I'm not whether right or wrong, but I can see from my life's experience, if you push the child person too hard, corner them, you see how abuse comes out. My head cracked and I condemn it. Some things I don't like in my life, don't want to do, but I am cornered. I feel like the devil has got me. uh, तो अ, हैरान नहीं होना कि अगर यजीद ने ऐसा किया. uh, I don't know whether to, whether it's commendable or not what Yazid did. Many Hindus may also object to what Yazid did. Brahmin Hindus also, Husseinis, Brahmin Husseinis would object. And they said that Rahab gave his 9 sons fighting for Imam Hussein against Yazid's army. They reached late, but they did fight and all this. Because Imam Zain al Abidin's mother was, I think, from Hind, a princess or something. God only knows what these stories we've been told are. Well, I found this man, Prophet Muhammad, according to the Quran ayahs. So, see, it comes back to my religion and former religion. Uh, so, when I say Shias are the worst liars. Now I mean it. The Shias are the worst liars, and Christian Prince at least is right about this. Whether you catch him saying something, someone will say he lies and oh, sometimes, yeah, maybe but most of the hadiths, how, so even Prophet Muhammad may have changed the whole thing. And why don't you tell Prophet Muhammad that he's a liar? But you only are after Christian Prince or me or the ex-Muslims or the Christians who are these evangelists now who have come up criticizing Islam, rightfully so. Can you blame them? So my case, and it goes to the religion because of course we believed in God as saving us, and I thought that maybe God, at one time in my life, I thought it's not feasible that a messenger come and help, that we should have help inside of us from the source. So this and so your Kalki Avatar now my no. Anyways, you're going to leave me. So this is crazy. He was Hasad Khan. Acha. Remember in the garden lounge of your hostel, you went because you were very scared this Gujarati girl had come and she was doing Ouija board, calling spirits in the hostel. So one day I was very scared. I went down and thank God Amrita Ramlochan was awake. She was doing some work in the garden lounge of our hostel. Late in the night, I couldn't sleep. I was very scared. I went to the smoking room. Then I went, look, I said, thank God, Amrita, you're here because Garden Lounge had some sofas that I could just lie, rest for a little while. I can't sleep anywhere if I leave my place room. But I tried to just rest there as Amrita Ramlochan was working in the Garden Lounge. And now you see Paramahamsa, what he's made in Germany, that temple, Buddha. Okay, can't pronounce the whole or even remember the name of that temple, but it looks like a garden lounge in London without the furniture and carpet, in length and in width. Oh my God, yes. Yes, this I had known for a long time. So I thought maybe he was in London in the hostel. He had changed the hostel and the way, but no, he is in Germany. So after, so then after this Amrita Ram Lochan, these Hindus are great, really. I would tell my dukras to my Hindu friend in college, another one, and something happened, like Khizr turned up and very helpful, even though they don't, they don't speak much, like tell you, push you, this, that, and like that Muslim friend of mine, too much talk, too much prep talk and all this. They don't give all that, but just having tea with Anita in college, and uh, she said, "Do you realize that you don't talk about your principal much anymore?" I said, "Yes, I know." And all this, just their presence was very great. So I think Amrita Ramlochan, they're saying, was from Babaji, or was Babaji Mahavtar. So then came Hasad Khan in the hostel, but he was a Pathan, he would not come in the hostel. Uh, so I told him, I wish you had. Then came, and then I met Hasad Khan and all this, because my principal also over the phone was saying, find a life partner. God knows what happened to her. So uh, the burden fell, and I had to be a little. I'm very, very shy. I don't go talking to men, even if I like them. And the men who I don't like come talking to me. This is the problem. So, anyways, with Ram Khake, I become their friends and all, you know, feeling pity for them. That's the tragedy of my life. Anyways, this guy came, and then he, it's like, now I understand it was his duty to help me at that time. Mahavdar Babaji had called him, Amrita Ramlojan. It's a, God. So when I'm in a lot of pain, I just turn my face away now from them. Galki Avtar. But, things happened in my life, and I looked the bad one, I looked the criminal, I looked the rude one, the city one. But behind it all, I knew that it was this grandmother and their sons also who prejudiced. And I think my father is Kamsa. He would sacrifice he doesn't care for his sons at all. And after he got married, he didn't even care for me. So I think my father is Kamsa also. Although he has a brother whose name is like starts with a K, but I think he is the Kamsa. He would kill his children against, Fuad, his eldest, Fuad Sajwani, or some other brother for his brother. And he would, he's shameless as ever, he doesn't, like, I know, with, being in the company, like, I would lose Rahm for my mother. And also, yeah, it's very like crazy stuff, cruel. Like you don't have Rahm for the other, but you just this is a very a family. It has attraction. Like you go sit and they'll pull your legs. They'll do masti mazak, and this you enjoy much. It's worse than an American bad movie, dirty movie. At least you watch an American dirty movie and you laugh. But these people, like, and the director of the movie could be a good person. Who knows? If a bad person, then he's like this family, where the zalim attract you and the worldly thing looks very there. So I would keep away from my mother when they would come to London and all this, right? Excuse me, I sorry, so so a little bit at least I came out to tell you, and bad girl talking about a sad girl and very tantalizing people. She, I'm not bad, thanks to Jennifer McLean and Anita Murjani. Much grateful to you both. I'm not bad. Uh, no, I'm not bad. My grandmother was bad. I'm not bad. She took my innocent years away. I'm not bad. Okay, I have to go. Thank you so much.